Hi guys, Happy New Year and welcome to our 5-day challenge. So another year has begun. Do you have the same New Year's resolutions you've always had? Do you find things go great for the first couple weeks or maybe even month, but you quickly revert back to your old ways and the goals fly out the window? If so, don't feel bad. You are like 99% of the population. And that's how it typically works. But I want the next year to be different for you. And that's why I created this challenge. Spend about 30 minutes with me the next 5 days so we can get started off on the right foot. Set yourself up for success that lasts longer than the typical 2 weeks. We're going to focus on the mindset of change, of achieving your goals. We're going to have some fun and we're going to get inspired and we're going to crush it this year. So stick with me for the next few days and let's do this. January 1st is a time where you vow to stop doing this and start doing that. I do this myself. But I've realized that just saying those things doesn't really get you anywhere, at least not for long. We need to dive a little bit deeper than that in order to achieve the goals that we want. So why is that? Why do so many people get all fired up and excited about changing their life? They might be saying, I want to get out of debt and buy a new house by the end of August, or this year I want to lose 20 pounds and change my lifestyle, usually only to let those dreams die. Take a moment to think about the goals you've set for yourself this year. Think about 1 or 2 major goals. Maybe you want to lose X amount of pounds, or you might want to save X amount of money by the end of the year, or maybe you want to learn to play guitar. So did you think of at least one? Okay, now think of the goals you set last year and the goals you set the year before that. Did you meet your goals each year? Studies have shown that by the second week of February, over 80% of people give up on their goals set each new year. Also, research shows that 37.8% of people in their 20s reach their resolutions each year. Sadly, this number continues to decline as people age. The question is why? So let's dive into this. Why you might not be meeting your goals. You fail to break it down. Your goal might seem so huge, you don't really know how to get there. You haven't broken it down to daily changes. You think you can do it all by yourself. We tend to refer back to habit even when we have a goal. So we have to take it a step further and do what we can to make changes. And having someone or a community doing it with you or supporting you is so important. You want to be able to do this on your own. You don't want to seem weak and ask for help, but it actually is really smart thing to do, to ask for help and to have support. So looking at getting an accountability partner or post your goals to your friends on Facebook or join a group of like-minded people striving to achieve similar goals can all really help. If you announce or share your goal to 10 plus people you know, you'll have more of a chance of succeeding rather than if you did it privately. Why? It would be quite embarrassing to not follow through. So in fact, studies reveal that people who announce their goals publicly, i.e. on Instagram, on a blog, Facebook, they're more likely to be motivated to actually complete them. When you are trying to reach your goals, you need all the help that you can get, especially if you're setting real life-changing goals. The more people you tell, the more support you will get in return. With that, you will be held accountable. Number 3, you don't take planning seriously. Another reason you might not be meeting your goals is that you think you can do it all on a whim. Schoolwork, a job, cooking, cleaning, working out, taking care of pets, taking care of your kids, your bills, finances, shopping, and all your other daily activities. If you think about it, you do a lot in 1 week. Well, really, if you are anything like me, you do a lot in just 1 hour in 1 day. So how can you meet your goals that are outside of your routine and comfort zone if you are not planning? It's almost impossible to do. You are either superhuman or your goals are too weak. People who attack their goals and truly crush them have a definitive method to their madness. There is not one specific way to plan, but having your to-do list planned that includes your mini victories towards your goal is golden, especially if you take the time to actively look at your list multiple times a day, crossing things off as you go, especially until it becomes a habit and is more ingrained in there. So another common issue is you set unrealistic goals and expectations. The final aspect that keeps many people from achieving any of their big goals is setting goals that are not realistic. Actually, I think this is the main reason people kick their goals to the curb early on in the process, only to make the same goal in the future the same way. Why are their goals unrealistic? 2 reasons. They are vague or lack specific focus. So a goal should be focused and measurable. For example, a poor goal is I want to be in shape. So that's good, but being in shape is different for everyone and it's not specific. So do you want to gain muscle mass? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to feel better? Do you want to gain weight? Do you want to get stronger? So be specific. A better goal would be I want to lose 10 pounds by the end of May. So great. So you will know that you meet your goals when you are 10 pounds lighter by the last day of May. Number 2, they fail to dissect their goals into smaller parts. Let's take the same goal above. It's January 1st to lose 10 pounds by the end of May. Will take about 5 months. The beginning might be tough. You might lose a few pounds the first 2 weeks. You feel awesome. But the 3rd and 4th week are harder. You aren't even losing a pound a week. You begin to feel like crap and you give up. So why did this happen? You were focusing on the entire 10 pounds or 20 pounds or whatever that is. Instead, break the weight loss up. No need to go nuts on trying to shed the weight off like crazy right away. Okay, so there are 20 weeks and 5 months. So let's say your goal is to lose 20 pounds by then. You should be losing 1 pound a week. That is measurable and that's doable. Much easier to focus on the 1 pound a week rather than looming 20 pounds. The next step is to look at what you can do that week to lose that 1 pound and then break that down into a day. What can you do each day to get there? I actually prefer to focus more on nourishing your body and giving it what it needs than the numbers on the scale. So this might not be the best example, but it's an example. It's an easy one to explain it. So, however, this still can be a great way to measure your progress. But with a mindset of nourishing to lose weight and treating your body right, rather than a focus on calories, etc. I will explain more on the method in the webinar at the end. So another example is a goal of getting your energy back and feeling good again. Again, this is very vague. You need to dive a bit deeper. You want to have stable energy all day long. Is that what you want? You want to still have energy at the end of the day so you can enjoy playing with your kids. You also need to break this down into a plan. Just saying I want more energy is not specific. Is one part of the plan cutting out sugar, processed food, gluten? You need to set specific dates, break it down to daily changes, new habits, maybe even create a mood and energy tracker so it's measurable. So you want to make sure that your goals are number 1, specific, and number 2, measurable. So today's task is to list your resolutions / goals. So number 1, brainstorm. Have a long conversation with someone you can easily open up to, or find a quiet spot and start journaling. I love to do this early morning before anybody wakes up. Focus on what you want to change in your life and amazing opportunities you want to create for yourself. Number 2, identify your big goals. Using step number 1, identify your major goals. Actively write out or type up your goals in a place you can refer to in the future. Remember that the goals should be realistic, specific, and measurable. You want to be able to identify in the moment that the goal is complete. So grab a pretty journal if you'd like, and let's make a plan. Think about what resolutions or goals you'd like to achieve this year. List out your goals, SMART goals, aka New Year's resolutions. Make them specific, your specific area of improvement. Make them measurable. What is your indicator of progress? Make them attainable, achievable. Make them realistic and time-bound. So when will the results be achieved? So here's an example. So let's say this is my example. I will cook and eat at home at least 6 days a week. I will drink 1 green smoothie each day, probably for breakfast. When eating out, I will choose healthy foods I could have cooked at home. I will work out at least 20 minutes 4 times each week. I will know that I've achieved my goals as I'm able to check off each day as I track my progress on my monthly printables. And ultimately, when I lose 20 pounds, if that's my goal, feel better physically, have more energy, maybe I can fit into the clothes that I used to wear, that's when I've achieved my goals. So we want to break it down. Like I said before, you want to break it down into habits, and you want to be able to check things off each day, and that'll make it way more likely to succeed.